So what does Prima System do?
So Prima Systems is a specialist glazing contractor in construction. So we do a lot of work for main contractors, local authorities, housing associations, private domestic clients every now and again. But essentially that's who we are and what we do. We've dabbled in some other areas, facades and cladding, but we stick to what we're good at, which is glazing.
Yeah. Windows, doors,
Windows, doors, curtain walling,
you know,
all that fancy
all
sort
that
of
jazz.
stuff. Yeah.
Right, perfect. Now, talking about retrofit in past 2030, for instance, what does that mean to you?
So what that means to us is the government incentive to make our buildings better by improving their insulation, by improving their efficiency, by basically bringing buildings into the modern age, as it were. So for Prima, what that means is working within the fabric of the building. So providing new enhanced thermal performing windows, looking at air leakage, looking at sealing things up, looking at how we can make the fabric of that building better in terms of what we do. And that is part and parcel of a bigger overall scheme. So for us, we would be working under a retrofit coordinator, a designer, an assessor, all these other trades and roles that have been introduced to ensure that the work that's being done is being done to a decent quality that is in excess of what current building regulations should be.
Fantastic. Right, okay, so if I come back to your journey then, you've been with Prima, correct me if I'm wrong, about 27 years now?
27 years, yes.
27
correct.
years young.
Yeah. Man and boy, yes.
Brilliant. Okay, so in your time in the industry doing what you do you want to talk me through your journey?
Okay, so I've been with Prima for 27 years. I started when I was 17. I was still at school doing my A-levels. I didn't really enjoy school so much. It was very much pushed down a sort of an academic route to go on to university. I wanted to get out there, get out into the world, earn some money. So I fell into my role as a trainee estimator. Prima at the time had just come out of a previous recession, so we're quite small and we're starting to grow and expand again. So I joined at quite an exciting time as a young trainee estimator. No idea, never even heard of the role before, didn't know what it was, but working in the built environment sort of interested me. So, if I had stayed at school, possibly, thought about a career as an architect or something like that. But falling into what I did sort of gave me a new sort of love and understanding for the built environment. I would come up to London for meetings and site visits and just wonder at the architecture, the modern and the old. And that sort of, that buzz kept me going. So, after a few months, 6 months probably, secured my first win with a company called Baxter Construction, who we are still trading with today. They're one of our key clients still to this day. And just went on from there. So as I learned and trained and became more knowledgeable in my role, I moved up through stopped being a trainee to being an estimator, to then being a senior estimator. What we didn't change, but the industry around us did. Everything got quicker. Technology, fax machines got replaced with email.
Very true.
Modern methods of construction came in, timber frame buildings and SFS structures and things like that. So everything was getting quicker and faster. I'm not going to say it all got better, but it was definitely getting quicker and faster.
And we all have to move at the same pace, don't we? Catch up with the trends.
We do. You have to stay with the times or get left behind. So we managed to. We were also a manufacturer back at that point as well. So whereas today we're purely a contractor, we also had a manufacturing arm. Manufacturing various different systems and materials and profiles, UPVC and then aluminium. We even made timber alley composites at one point. And then we sort of, that died off
Yeah.
as such. The recession, the credit crunch came in. We looked at what the strengths of the business were, and we decided to close the manufacturing side and concentrate full speed ahead on the contracting side of things.
Right.
That's where we felt we were best placed to deliver.
So being an estimator,
Yeah.
be it as a subcontractor, as a main contractor, what does that entail? What is your role?
So for the most
entail?
part, that means taking specifications and drawings that are provided to us by our clients, so architectural drawings, specifications, sort of combing through that to find what's relevant to us, and then putting together prices and technical data and documents that are as accurate as possible to meet the client's requirement. Now, that might be just a handful of windows in a small extension, or it could be £1 million worth of curtain walling, wrapping an entire building. And learning.
Yeah.
It means a lot of
Constant
learning, staying up to date with building regs, staying up to date with different sources of information like British standards, BRE, way things are moving in the world, looking at different materials and products that have come on board, and just basically trying to stay at the front of what the industry's doing.
Yeah.
Dealing with suppliers, dealing with clients, sort of covering that whole sort of range of pre-construction.
Yeah. So in terms of qualifications then, are they any specific requirement for certain qualifications to get to where you are, what you do?
Not specifically. I mean, as I said, I sort of stumbled into my role straight out of school. There are some key elements though. I mean, we've always said at Prima, we have always looked at sort of minimum requirements at GCSE level, particularly for maths. Most of what we're doing is maths. So we would look at a C grade. I think they've changed the numbers now.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how out of date I am with the education system. But we would look at in what was in our day, a C grade in maths would probably be the key. Having the ability to work to deadlines and having a methodical approach to go through something step by step and work out what's required. If you're sort of a scattergun and you're all over the place, you're going to miss stuff or things are going to get done wrong. So having those sort of key skills, computer literacy, because you know we're working with spreadsheets a lot and we're working with industry-specific software. So things like that, and just having an enthusiasm and wanting to turn up and do it.
Yeah.
That really is the main thing. So if you've got those attributes, the rest, the knowledge, you can be taught.
Yeah.
And we have quite a good track record of bringing young people in at trainee level like myself was and building them through into where they are now.
That brings me to my next question, because if you look at the industry, we've got an aging workforce, right? So we Prima, for instance, I'll use that as an example. What would you say as an industry we could do or we need to be doing to sort of help cushion, because otherwise we're going to have chaos in our hands the next 10 years?
Yeah. It's a difficult one because of what we do. As a contractor, I think internally, not so much of a problem. Externally is a big issue for us. That's sort of where the aging workforce is diminishing quite rapidly. We really do need to get young people who want to work outside, on sites, learning trades, taking up those skills. I mean, it's good money. I sometimes look back and think, oh, if only I'd gone the other way and worked outside, I'd probably be better off than I am.
You've
now.
got to bear in mind, there is outdoor and there is the indoor side of things. So you have to weigh your options. The income is quite good, yes.
It's but yeah, so internally I think, we're still working towards getting proper training. The training that we do is our own, it's in-house. There is limited scope in people being able to go to college or go on to further education and learn what we do. There are some crossovers, project management and quantity surveying and things like that, but people tend to follow those routes. They might diversify and become an estimator, but they tend to sort of follow that path. But yeah, I mean, we offer a flexible sort of workspace at Prima. Early days, you're going to be in the office full time because you need to learn. You need to learn the processes. You need to learn the systems. You need to learn what I do. So, you know, we're there to teach you. But after that, we have very flexible office, home working balances.
Which is quite good. I mean,
Yeah.
in today's world, we need the work-life balance, don't we?
We certainly
Which is
do. I have
perfect.
small children of my own,
Yeah.
so that helps us out a lot. But even for our new employees, our younger people, they still have that flexibility. So after sort of 6 to 12 months, that becomes just an ingrained part of what we offer.
Right, brilliant. Thanks for your time. I've really enjoyed
You're
the time
welcome,
with you.